they win the NFC South.
We back. Finally. For the first time since Hurricane Milton, I have internet in my home. So that means we're back. The videos, the uploads are back. So I wanted to make a video on my experience going to the game in New Orleans in the Superdome, watching that Bucs blowout win against the rival. But we're kind of a little bit past that now. We're on to the New Orleans Saints. It's been 5 days or whatever. And, I mean, the Saints have already played another game and got blown out again in the Superdome. So I'm not going to make an entire video for it, but just short and sweet, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of my experience, just because I feel like it deserves speaking on. I had just really an amazing time in New Orleans. Just being able to feel good, be happy, and see that team just give us all something to cheer about, something to cheer for, something to be happy about. And the win was fantastic. Some of you guys might not like this, but this is just my experience going to New Orleans, going to the Superdome. The Saints fans, you know, I walk in there ready to talk trash, ready to go back and forth, and they just met me and my girlfriend with like the most hospitable energy possible. I did not have one Saints fan talk trash, one Saints fan say anything bad about the Bucs, or no pregame talk trash, no postgame sore losers, literally nothing. I had so many Saints fans come up to me and my girlfriend and just give us grace, give us good energy, tell us that, you know, we're thinking about you guys, we know what it's like to go through a really bad storm, prayers and blessings to you and your family. And yeah, I know we don't like them, but, you know, under those circumstances, I had a great time. And I'm thankful for all the Saints fans that did come up to me. Really appreciate that. And just the hospitality was there. I'd say the loudest stadium I've been to prior to last week was Lambeau Field, and the Superdome kind of easily passed it up. It's kind of a cheat code with it being indoors and it being a dome, but regardless, yeah, easily louder than Lambeau. They had that place rocking. Okay, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about prime time. Under the lights, Monday Night Football, Bucs, Ravens, first home game since Hurricane Milton. You know the energy is going to be there at Ray J Monday. You know there's going to be a tribute. You know the people are going to be hyped up, ready to go. I'm going to be hyped up, ready to go. That energy is going to be so good. The red lights coming down on the field. This is going to be a lot of people's first time going out to have fun since the hurricane. Everyone's going out, you know, struggling for groceries or gas or whatever it may be. This is going to be a lot of people's first time going out of their house for fun. And it's going to be rocking. So the Baltimore Ravens, 4-game win streak. They start the year 0-2. Couple, you know, just losses that you're like, interesting. And then they just rattle off 4 just like that. And what an offensive duo. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. I was trying to think back to a quarterback and running back duo that was just this good, and I'm struggling. Because Brady never had a running back of Henry's caliber. Manning never had a running back of Henry's caliber. Breeze never did. Ben Roethlisberger and Le'Veon Bell, still, I don't think, I mean, Lamar has 2 MVPs. Derrick Henry's better than Le'Veon Bell. Kurt Warner and Marshall Faulk. This is an insane duo they have in Baltimore. And once again, Lamar is playing at an MVP level, and Henry is on pace to become the first player ever. I know it's still early, but he's on pace to be the first player ever to get 2,000 yard seasons in this era, where it's just aerial attack, wide receivers are the superstars, running backs don't get paid. Crazy. So when you have guys like that, of course, they're rushing attack is going to be ridiculous, and that's what it is. It's the best rushing attack in the NFL. I mean, Lamar Jackson himself at quarterback has more rushing yards than anyone on this Bucs offense. They're just such a unique combination that no one else in the NFL can bring what they bring to the table. Am I calling them the best offense in the NFL when I'm saying that? No, but just that rushing quarterback who can still throw, and then Derrick Henry, there's nobody else is bringing that to the table offensively. So how can the Bucs limit this Baltimore Ravens offense? It obviously starts with stopping that run game. That's what they do. That's what they're best at. Last week we saw Vita Vea and Kalijah Kancey on the field for the same time, and it was exactly what we expect when we see those two at the same time. Kamara had like 40 rushing yards. They couldn't get anything going on the ground, and it's what we expect from a Bucs defense who, over the last several years, has been one of the top run-stopping teams in the NFL. And with the injuries this year, Vita being out at one point, Kalijah being out up until that game against the Saints, we really haven't been able to see that Bucs run defense, who it's weird not seeing them as a top 10 team in rushing defense. But I do think, the injuries are a valid reason for the Bucs not being in the top 10 this early in the season as a top 10 rushing defense. In Derrick Henry's career, the Bucs have actually been really good at stopping him. And it's just the size on the defensive line and in the defense in general. They've always had Vita Vea. I mean, yeah. And then you have Yaya Diaby, huge, Logan Hall, Kalijah Kancey in the middle, and then behind him, you pretty much always have had very good sideline-to-sideline linebackers. Levante David's still there, and KJ Britt, Thumper, that's what he does, is stop the run. So I am hopeful of this matchup. Is it going to take a lot? Yes, because even though last season the Bucs absolutely shut down Derrick Henry, held him to 24 yards when we played the Tennessee Titans, the Titans had Will Levis at quarterback, not Lamar Jackson. And the Ravens have Todd Monken calling plays, not whoever the Titans had last year. So it's completely different. Does it directly correlate? No, not really, but it does prove the fact that this Bucs defense is very much capable of getting Derrick Henry to the ground when he comes their way. Because the last thing you want is seeing Derrick Henry going head up with one of your corners, and if he beats him, he's gone. I think that's really how you limit this offense, because if we want to talk about Lamar Jackson, there's no game plan for stopping Lamar Jackson. Your goal is to limit the special plays. Like, it's not really something you can replicate in practice. You can watch film, but there's just plays that he does. There's usually 2 or 3 a game where you're just like, nobody else is doing that. I think the best medicine for stopping Lamar Jackson is stopping Derrick Henry. On first down, maybe you get a tackle for loss. Now it's 2nd and 12. You force their offense into a situation they don't want to be in. That's the best recipe for stopping this team. Thankfully, they don't have a top 10 receiver on their team. Zay Flowers, he's good. He's young. He's talented. Rashad Bateman, he's pretty good when he's healthy. But there's no one top 10. There's no one that this Bucs team can't cover at receiver. Tight end, I think that's where the trouble is. This Ravens team loves their tight ends. Mark Andrews been doing it for a while, and Isaiah Likely, that speed coming from tight end, just being able to get open in the middle of the field, that's what scares me the most. It really is, because we've seen it now since Dennis has gone out. Tight ends, they eat over the middle of the field, and that's going to be something to watch. The last thing you want is this team to just do what you're wanting them to do on 1st and 2nd down. Like I said, maybe a tackle for loss, now it's 2nd and 12. Maybe they get a 3-yard run, now it's 3rd and 9. And Lamar just finds Isaiah Likely open in the middle of the field for 14 yards. You cannot let that happen. So this team has to figure out a way to guard these tight ends in the middle of the field. That's where they're going to eat. That's where they're going to target. Find a way to stop it. It's crazy to think that this is the best rushing attack in the NFL coming to Raymond James Stadium, and I'm more scared about them passing the ball down the middle of the field than us not being able to stop the run. And unfortunately, it's just due to the situation of Servassier Dennis not being out there. I trust Levante David to do his job. I trust the safeties to do their job, but we've seen KJ Britt get targeted since Dennis has gone out. We needed Dennis as that 3rd down guy, when it's 3rd and 9, guard that tight end. He's really good in pass coverage. We just don't have that. So we got to rely on Britt, or they got to switch it up, bring in Tyke. Now that Izzian is back, maybe it's Tyke or Izzian that comes in and they play dime, and he can easily do a better job at guarding a tight end than KJ Britt probably would be. Flipping sides, the Ravens defense probably is the most obvious pass funnel defense in the NFL. I mean, based on the numbers, it's what the defense allows. They're number 1 in stopping the run, and they're 31st in stopping the pass. It's kind of surprising to me, too, because they have 2 really good players in the secondary, Marlon Humphrey and Kyle Hamilton. So how they're 31st, the depth must just not be there outside of those 2 guys. And I do think they are slightly inflated. I don't think this is the 31st worst pass defense in the NFL. I know the numbers say so, but I feel like teams just don't even try to run the ball on the Ravens defense at a certain point, so they're just passing against this Ravens team, and that's what's leading them to give up so many yards, because that's what teams are doing. But that still is the way to beat this team, because their rush defense is, the best. And their pass defense, while I said I don't think it's 31st worst, it's definitely not as good as their rush defense. So, hey, Godwin versus Humphrey. That's the matchup right there. Humphrey's been guarding the slot receiver a lot this season, and Godwin has been one of the best receivers so far this season playing in that slot. So seeing those guys go back and forth all night is going to be a treat. But what that means is Mike Evans, who is struggling with a nagging hamstring, seems like he's going to play. How or what level he's able to play at with the injury, we'll have to see. But Trey Palmer, if he clears concussion protocol, need you to ball out. Jalen McMillan, need you to ball out. Sterling Shepard, need you to ball out against these depth guys that the Ravens have behind Marlon Humphrey, who clearly are giving up a lot of yards. I know we've already talked about the defense, but I think the offense staying on the field is kind of the best defense in this game. You don't want the Ravens to be able to just go out there and just run the ball, chew the clock, have complete control of the game, not turn the ball over. That's not what you want. You want the Bucs offense to try and control the game. Slow, methodical drives, obviously. If big plays are there, hit them, score points. But if you can keep that Ravens offense off the field, put together a 10-play touchdown drive that takes 6-7 minutes off the clock, beautiful. Can't wait to be there on Monday. I'm sure that intro, that tribute, it's going to be heavy, but after it, it's only going to hype up this crowd even more, and it's going to be a fun one under those red lights at Raymond James Stadium. Something to note, I'm sure we've all heard the stat, Lamar 22-1 or 23-1 against NFC teams. I find myself rooting for Lamar a lot. I do. I have nothing against the Ravens. They're an AFC team. Lamar is easy to root for. He's such a special player. But sorry, Lamar. We need this win. The teams have the same record, but people give the Ravens way more respect because more recently they went further. Even though they only went one round further than the Bucs did last season, they're still getting way more respect than the Bucs. Let's prove them wrong again. They said we didn't have a chance against the Lions. We go to Detroit and get a win. Let's do the same thing here. We're underdogs at home against a team we have the same record. Bucs 27, Ravens 24. So that's going to be it. Leave your guys' comments down below. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. Go Bucs. Y'all have a blessed one. Can't wait to see y'all on Monday. Let's turn up.